January 20th, 2026. It's been 1 year. On day one, he pardoned all of the January 6th attackers. And he created Doge. None of this is going to go in order. Remember all of this nonsense? Where his son even told Trump, I'm the president, not you, or whatever. You're not even the real president. We've enacted over 50% of Project 2025 so far. Hooray. He threatened schools pretty much off the jump to end radical indoctrination, whatever that means. Do you remember he put a litmus test on hiring that you had to be a patriotic American for a federal job? Like, you can't get a federal job based on your social media activity. I am right out. Which is kind of an honor, I must say. We put $75 billion into ICE, which makes no sense. Why are we doing that? This just happened, but I'm using this as my tariff example. Tariffs. And the Supreme Court's sitting back on their decision on if the tariffs are constitutional or not. So we'll see about that. Remember, he calls it the Gulf of America now? The Gulf of America? Yeah. Trump froze $4 billion in foreign aid. Lord knows how much damage was done because of that. People died. Jesus definitely said, stop helping the poor and the needy and freeze that money and don't send it to them. But build a ballroom. Oh my God, the ballroom. I forgot about the ballroom. We yoinked a dictator out of bed. Because that's something that he could do unilaterally now, apparently. Congress, hello. We technically accidentally invaded Mexico when we fucked up where we landed in a mission, and we landed on the Mexico side of the border. Oopsie poops. Refusal to release the Epstein files. They're on my desk. They're not on my desk. They don't exist. They're fake news. Blah, 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 blah. We know they exist. Because now you're releasing them very slowly and not the way you were ordered to, and no repercussions are going to come of that because our government does nothing. The federal government is no longer cooperating with state governments, and we clearly saw that with the Renee Good of it all. Remember, he tried to have Jimmy Kimmel taken off the air. That happened. All of the inspector generals were removed from their posts. All of them. Those are the people that make sure corruption doesn't happen. Ooh. We rolled back environmental protections and all of that, and we're still after the windmills killing the whales or doing some shit, I don't know. And he also shared a picture of a bird that's only native to Europe hitting a windmill, and he's like, see? These bald eagles are dying! And the rest of us went, that's not a bald eagle, you dummy. Allegedly. Trump's joking about canceling the elections. Joking. The man doesn't have a sense of humor. He doesn't know what a joke is. Woo! This is getting me fired up today. Let's go. Any message, criticism, or anything that doesn't align with Trump is wildly persecuted. He said all the protesters are paid actors, and we can clearly see this in his cabinet meetings where they'll go, oh, President Trump, let me lick your butthole, even though you don't have intestinal integrity, allegedly. Remember, he tried to tell schools what they could and couldn't teach, and the school says, nah, we're not doing that. So he tried to cut their funding, and then we're told, no, you gotta fund them. Sorry. Free speech for me, but not for thee. Meh. We've taken a big doopy dump on our international relationships. Big old doopy dump. Remember, he went to the UK and had dinner with the king, and they all dressed in the colors of the Ukrainian flag, and they're like, oh, how odd. Yes, we support Ukraine. Yeah, dummy. You might have missed this late December-ish, but they're closing federal libraries. NASA closed a bunch of their libraries. They're closing libraries left, right, and center because they don't want you to have access to education. Because, as he said, smart people don't vote for me. There is an exodus in the scientific community because they don't feel safe researching here anymore. They're like, our grants are going to be pulled. Nobody's funding anything. We're going to go overseas and further make America dumb. He has continued throughout the whole year to centralize power. He has so much power that he shouldn't have. But when the Supreme Court is button in your pocket, you get away with a lot of things. Yes. And I left out a ton of shit. But these were the highlights that I was just like, it's been a year. Let's think about what he's done. And oh my God, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. Yeah. Let me know what your favorite thing is I left off this list. Because it's been, we've just had a time. Had a time. I didn't even touch on all the ice of it all. Anyway, happy 1 year anniversary, President Trump. And I'll talk to you in a little bit. Follow for more, and also go follow me on my other platforms because the TikTok deal closes in 2 days. Yeah, and I don't think I'm going to be let allowed on here much longer. So anyway, Substack in my bio, Instagram, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I'll talk to you in a little bit. I love you. Bye.